Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. As always, Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate, live, woodwardsports.com. I can't wait. Today's going to be a good show, man. It's Friday. What, are you going to a funeral?
Well, you know what's funny? I was going to say, we matched yesterday, and now we're matching today.
Did we?
What are you doing right now? Why are you wearing black when I wear black and then wear white when I wear white? Look at us. Now we're twinning today. And we both got Nike on. So, God.
You know, what's the point of shaving your head if you're just going to keep a hat on every day?
Because I'm trying to train it as of right now, even though I got no hair.
Train it.
Dude, it looks like...
Such a white thing to say. I'm training my hair.
No, it's bad. You look at it now. Alex, get a camera on this. Look, this, I don't know what's going on up here. It's a lot of, I don't know. I really don't know. But
let's look in that camera. Go ahead and look in that very same camera. Take off the hat. Whose fault is it?
It's mine.
All right, there you go.
Mine. It's mine. I accept full responsibility.
Well done.
Thank God for hats. Thank God for hats.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We got playoffs to preview, of course. NFL playoffs start. Super Wild Card weekend. We get games on Saturday. We get games on Sunday.
Yep.
And damn it, we get them on Monday. Can't wait. Can't wait. We'll talk about that. Derek Carr, free agent. Lamar Jackson, not good to go. This offseason, you may see 2-3 quality quarterbacks get moved. We'll have that conversation around 8:45. Brad Holmes, for sure, he's made it public knowledge now, is looking to bring in a more quality backup quarterback. We'll get to that conversation. Raising the bar in Detroit. So we'll touch on this probably in 6-7 minutes, and it'll carry over into the next segment. But now that we're here, and you're going into an offseason with 2 first-round picks, you're going into an offseason with 2 second-round picks, some money to spend. Things are looking on the up and up. So I want to have that conversation. Second hour, we'll get to the coaching carousel. Ben Johnson going to Carolina, still the favorite. What's going on there? How soon will we know? Eric Bieniemy completed an interview with the Colts.
Yeah.
So for what that's worth, we'll see. We'll go
Hope
around
he gets
the
the
NFL.
job. All luck to him.
I hope so. We don't have to keep talking about it. Honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of it. But regardless, let's start the show off with the Wings. How about the Wings last night? 5
points out of that wild card spot.
National TV, spotlights on them, playing the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I believe in their last 17, the Maple Leafs are 15-0-2 against the Red Wings. So me, Maz, and Ryan were talking about that yesterday. I think they won the last 7 straight before last night.
Unreal. And Ville Husso.
Yeah.
His best performance in maybe, 2-3 months?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that long. A month and a half, 2 months, to be honest
especially
with
down
you.
the stretch.
That was refreshing. Yeah. That was the goaltender you saw early on in the year. It was such a good game, man. Lucas Raymond, 2 assists and a goal.
Yeah.
And that was a snipe. His first goal. I think that was, number 13 on the year.
Yeah. Seider's
so
goal
hopefully
as well.
He starts to pick it up down the stretch. Seider's been getting going. Dylan Larkin, I mean, what can you say about him? And you know what? I'm not the biggest Bertuzzi fan. I'm just not my cup of tea. But what he does on that line for Larkin and for Raymond, I cannot say enough good things about. He is everything to that line, and what a coincidence. He returns. What do you know? Lucas Raymond starts picking it up. Surprised? Not really. So Wings, huge 4-1 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was so happy to see the defense finally put together a good shift. Finally to get to see a goaltender not give up 4 or 5 goals. That's always refreshing. So it was a good night. I actually enjoyed watching a Wings game.
Yeah, they still got dominated on shots on net. I mean, 33-23. That was without Austin Matthews, and Mike sent me a picture. Austin Matthews was right below him in his media booth, so he's sitting there watching the game. But a win's a win. They win 2 in a row. The Wings got a lot of work to do. They want to get back in that wild card spot. But yeah, after a kind of shaky, a stretch of games there, they're able to bounce back, get 2 in a row. So Wings aren't out of it yet. Still got to hope they can sneak into that wild card spot. They just got to get 100% healthy.
I'm just glad they're in the conversation.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm hopeful that this type of goaltending is a regular thing. 1, 2, 3 goals in most of that game, and they're in the games. Not these 5-1s, these 6-3s. It's tough to watch. It's tough to watch. So here's what we're gonna do. moving on from the Wings, I want to talk about the Lions. So the season's over, okay? 9-8 after a 1-6 start. Who could have thought it, right? Unbelievable. It's a great story. And now we get to go into this offseason optimistic about the football team, loving the direction they're going in, confident in the coach more than you were 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks ago. Things are on the up. Having said that, when do we raise the bar in Detroit? And I don't think that's a decision we make. Not media, and not even you, the fans. I don't think you raise that bar. Because like the Pistons right now, they're a pile of shit. Do I expect them to turn into a Ferrari next year? No.
No.
I just don't. Fans are realistic. The team dictates your expectations. When they were 1-6, it was not good. But before then, before the season started, Jeff, what would you say the consensus was? 6, 7, on the higher end, 8 or 9 wins, right?
Correct.
That was the expectation. Nobody thought they'd be world beaters. Nobody thought they'd be a division winner. Nobody thought they should be in the NFC Championship game. So there wasn't any, unrealistic or crazy expectations going into the season. And now that they finished the season the way they did, and you have the draft capital, and you have confidence in the GM, and you know the roster is going to improve, well, that makes it a lot easier to not only buy in, but all right, well, if it was 9 this year, if you just want to do the math, it's 11 next year? 10 at the worst, but it's got to be 11, right? 11's got to be the benchmark? I don't know. I don't know, and that's really a conversation I want to have with all of you, because you can only expect what they give you. When Matt Patricia was the coach here, you didn't really ever expect anything. You just didn't.
Yeah, because he didn't show you.
When, God, how can I forget his name so quickly? Jeff Blashill, when he was the coach of the Wings, you knew what was going on. Hell, even go back to Dan Campbell's year 1. Did anybody expect them to be a playoff team outside of a few crazy people? No. And they were a 3-13-1 team. No problem. Year 2, you said, I want to say before the season, 8 wins. I said 7-10. But I also told you 8, 9 wins to me.
You wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked because the talent's there. And they get into the season, horrible start, and then they have a strong finish. So now you're like, all right, well, you want to be more consistent, but you know the product you're going to put out next year is going to be one of the better products in the entire NFC. It just is. I think it's a top 4 roster going into next year. And I can say that confidently because of who the GM is. Knowing he's going to land a stud in the first round of the 2. Maybe he trades back. Maybe he acquires a pick for next year. Who knows? See how this plays out.
Yeah.
But when we talk about raising the bar for a team, I don't think we really make the case. It's not on us. It's not on me to tell you, hey, this team should win 11 games. I do it, but it's not on me. It's on them. If the Lions finished 5-12 this year, what would the expectation be going into next season, off the top of your head?
Oh, it'd be probably similar to this year.
9 wins?
Yeah.
Right?
9-8.
You'd look for progression, but 8, 9 wins.
Right.
The Giants this year were supposed to tank for Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. That's what they were supposed to do, just like Seattle. They're both in the playoffs tomorrow and Sunday.
Yep.
Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. All I know is, for me, I'm 28, and I want to get your thoughts on this. It's the first time I'm going into an offseason with the Lions. And I have, it's not optimism, it's not confidence. It makes sense, holy shit, this is happening. Next year, this is a 10-11 win team. No?
Absolutely. And I think more than just a win total, it's really about 2 things. One, contending for your division, which we expect that. But at the very least, making the playoffs. Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they've kind of echoed that as well. You see Brad Holmes talk about that a lot. Next year, if you're a fringe playoff team next year, you should be a playoff team. There's no reason, especially with the youth this team has, that guys are going to get better. You have assets this offseason, and that's probably why, you talk about a lot, and I would agree with you. At least the aura around this team, it hasn't been this high in a long time, because not only do you see the wins, right, at 1-6, the expectations aren't really there. We're not talking about next season. We're just trying to get through this season. but then you go 8-2 down the stretch, 5-1 in your division, and you end the way the Lions ended, you can't help but have high expectations. Like, this is all credit to the players, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, for what they've been able to do this year. And next season, I think at the very minimum, this team should be a playoff team. I think that's the bar.
And who set that bar, though? Is that you? Or is that them?
I would say them, because Brad Holmes even said that. He's like, hey, we're shy this year. Progression. Next year, we should be a playoff team.
And look, if this was the AFC, they were in the division with some of the teams they got in the AFC, Bengals, the Bills, the Chiefs. Slow your
those
roll,
expectations.
Right? That's fine. That's fine.
Every year.
Context, the NFC is trash. Mm-hmm. And you almost made it in after a 1-6 start. So there's a lot to look forward to. Let's take a break. When we get back, we'll continue on with the show. I want to talk draft a little bit. Your expectations for the offseason, what they should do. Should they acquire more capital for the following years, or do they go all in? There is money available. Do you get rid of Brockers? Do you get rid of some of these guys that are going to be on the books? We'll see. We'll have the conversation coming up. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lobster. Cousins Maine Lobster.
Ooh.
All right, scan the QR code that you see on your screen. What are you waiting for? Find out where their food trucks are. Visit them at cousinsmainelobster.com and place your order today. Have the Maine lobster roll, lobster tacos, or clam chowder soup if you're under the weather like I am. It's damn good. We'll see you guys in just a minute. We'll talk some Lions coming out of the break.
As chilly weather approaches, Big Boy's got the perfect comfort meals for you. Try our hearty classic meatloaf or our creamy Cajun chicken Alfredo. These will be sure to leave you craving for more. How about breakfast? Our stuffed potato pancakes are back with our Lumberjack, Blockbuster, and Santa Fe Garden. These potato pancakes will definitely fill you up. Whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, come stock up on the perfect comfort meal today. We'll see you soon at Big Boy.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the three biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Official meat supplier of the Woodward Sports Network. Yes, it is Chef Dave and his awesome team over at The Butchery. Visit them at thebutcherysl.com or call 248-682-COWS. That's 248-682-COWS. Sandwiches to die for, Wagyu meats, and artisan breads. We are back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com as always. Adham, Beydoun, Jeff, Iafrate, and then there's Fish. Good morning, Fish.
Morning, everybody. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. It's Good Friday. Excited to...
You suck at your job. Mute your mic.
Oh, my God.
You know what you have to do
What?
before we continue this conversation. Mute your mic
Okay.
and do what you have to do.
Well, that's not on me. I can't do anything.
Mute your mic.
Yeah, that's...
What's up, Jeff? I tried to talk to Fish, but he messed up. There's nothing I can do.
Damn, dude. Fish is... Yeah. Fish,
What are you gonna do? What are you, I try. I try.
yeah.
It's like I'm a teacher, and this is my student.
Yeah.
And as much as I tell him right, I will be better on the chalkboard. He writes something else. And what can you do? You can't fix.
It's like you're
stupid.
It's almost like you're a sensei. Like this is your dojo, and you're just.
If this was my
whipping
dojo,
him
I'd
with-
hit him in the head with a freaking what do they have? Those
Yeah.
samurai swords? I don't know.
Yeah,
No, the
whack
wood
him in the
sticks.
head.
Whatever the hell you call
Yeah,
them.
you whack him in the head.
I'd beat the living hell out of you. If
Fish,
this
but
was
in
a
every dojo, the guy, the young guy beats up the old instructor. So eventually, you'll get your revenge on Adam. It'll just take maybe a long time.
Well, Fish, I'm disappointed in you, by the way.
Okay.
Because this week you were supposed to do the 10 questions and you never did.
Oh.
I'm shocked you remembered.
Of course I remember. I remember everything.
Wow, all right. We'll do that Wednesday. Wednesday good?
Well, you said that last week.
I did.
So, you fuckhead.
Well, I kept forgetting to tell you, so I didn't know if I could just last minute slide it in.
You can always slide it in.
You want to do it today?
Sure.
Okay.
Fish didn't get it. Anyways,
no, I did. That's why I stopped talking. We'll do 9:40.
Whatever you want, buddy.
Well, it's up to you.
We'll do 9:40. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, Jeff. This is an exciting time. We kind of alluded to this going in to the first segment. I want to talk about the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it was pretty simple. You're taking an edge rusher, right? We did the whole cocaine skit. It was clear as day. You have to draft an edge rusher. Aiden Hutchinson has been everything and more. I think we put out a post yesterday. He had the same amount or half a sack more, I believe, in his rookie season than Aaron Donald. And you compare him to some of the guys like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, JJ Watt, and other edge rushers around the league. I mean, my goodness, his rookie year stacks up with the best of them. So you're happy there. How do you walk away happy from this draft, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the promising receiver. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown going into his, third season.
Yes.
You've got a backfield that needs some help, but not even needs help. It just needs to be consistent. Needs to be available and healthy. But moving past the running backs, tight end, I don't think you're going to be reaching that high in the draft for a tight end in the first or the second round. It could be wrong. Who knows? But to me, it's all the defense, and you need to walk away with a corner, and not just any type of corner, but a Sauce Gardner type. More recently, a guy that can walk in and be your one, or is that what free agency's for? Kind of walk me through this offseason and players you're looking for that you think this team needs to bring in, because we did this last year with Aiden, Kayvon, and who was the third one? Trayvon Walker towards the end, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
That was the conversation. What is the conversation this offseason?
It's fixing that secondary. Well, defensively, of course, because you know what this team's record would be and where they'd be at if you had a defense that wasn't even, top 10, at least top 20, not forcing a punt against Seattle, having different games where you're blowing it like Minnesota on the road. That's going to be a successful offseason if you fix this defense. And you start there in the draft. And in my opinion, you hold the 6th and 18th pick. I don't see a corner at 6 that I'm in love with that much. I don't think there's a dominant corner like a Sauce Gardner or even a Derek Stingley that you would take a risk on taking at 6, in my opinion. So if you look at the draft board and you sit there at 6, and unless he trades up, meaning Brad Holmes, I would trade back.
Is that the move?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. So you're looking at the guys that are going ahead of where the Lions pick. You're probably not going to be able to get Will Anderson, obviously not Bryce Young, Jalen Carter, C.J. Stroud, Miles Murphy. If those guys go top 5, you're left with the litter of Tyree Wilson, Brian Bresee, Will Levis, Quentin Johnson. Like, these are the guys that are mocked around. It's not worth it to me. Ringo, but I don't know if I would take him at 6. You could probably get Ringo at 9, 10, 11. So if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm looking to trade back, get more assets, and maybe you can use those assets. Maybe in the second round you could trade up and get a player you like, or that the Lions pick, maybe you trade up a little higher and get a player you like. Whatever it is, I think trading back and probably taking the best corner available, whether that's Ringo. I mean, I'm going to leave that up to Brad because I like Ringo, but I'm not 100% sold on him. I mean, there's other corners I like in this draft, but I think the move is to trade back. In the first 4 picks, you have 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders. We'll see if you're able to acquire more. Man, 3 out of the 4 of those got to be defense. I mean, there's no question. At least the 2 first-rounders.
The Lions picks?
Yeah. 3 out of the first 4 picks got to be defense. I mean, if you're taking a guard, I'm okay with it. A tight end, running back, whatever the case may be.
Hypothetically,
got to fix this defense.
Brian Bresee and Miles Murphy on the board. Who are you going for?
You said Brian Bresee and who?
Miles Murphy.
Miles Murphy.
Really?
Yeah, I would take Miles Murphy because now I think you can even play Miles Murphy more on the interior as well, and you got a guy who can rush the quarterback. I don't think you can never have enough edge rushers. I'm never going to hate that idea. I mean, you might as well get a bunch of talent and see what works out. I feel like that's what the 49ers did for a couple of those years.
Let me throw this at you.
But Brian Bresee would also be nice.
We agree on defense. We agree it's defense.
Uh-huh.
But let me play devil's advocate here. What if I told you Bijan Robinson, Michael Mayer, Brian Branch out of Alabama, and Joey Porter Jr., along with Christian Gonzalez, were all available at pick 18? What would you do?
I'm thinking Joey Porter.
You've got a tight end, you've got a running back, you've got 2 corners, and a safety.
I'm thinking either Joey Porter or Brian Branch, because Brian Branch can play in the slot. He could play in different – I mean, he could play in the nickel. But then Joey Porter, we talk about him all the time. It's one of our favorite players to talk about. So I'd probably go with Joey Porter. That solves your issue. You're at 18. Okay. You take a guy, falls a little bit.
Okay, cool. You've drafted so far an edge rusher.
Uh-huh.
You've drafted a corner. Now pick 48. Okay? You have your choice, and I'm going to keep pushing offense on you because I want to know if you're going to bite or not.
Okay.
Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah.
He's nice.
Would you go for a running back like Jahmyr Gibbs, I believe, out of Bama? Would you go for a quarterback? Would you go for an edge rusher, again, like a Zach Harrison out of Ohio State? That's, to me, the second round is interesting because you don't know. You just really don't. And look, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think that one makes sense. It just does. In the second round, I think it's worth a shot, preferably with the later second round pick. But if you take an interior lineman, an edge rusher, and then you take a corner with the first 2 picks, you're either doubling down on the position or you're going running back. But in this scenario...
Trust me, I got one.
Okay,
you
go
said
for
that
it.
second. Emmanuel Forbes, corner out of Mississippi State. I'm doubling up on corner because I'm telling you right now, with how bad the Lions need a corner, I get it if you want to take a tight end or a guard. I think that those positions I wouldn't hate. Maybe you can get a tight end a little later, so I'd probably push away from that. Or a linebacker, I think you can do, but I'm a big fan of Emmanuel Forbes. I've been watching a lot. My buddy goes to Mississippi State. He's been telling me about Emmanuel Forbes all year, and I turned on the film and I was watching him. Not only is a guy a ball hawk, but I love the energy. He seems like someone that Dan Campbell, they'd fall in love with. So if you double up on corner, Forbes, Joey Porter, and then there you go. We've known Brad Holmes to do that with players, positions he wants to address. You double up on him. Why not corner? I mean, I don't have an issue with that.
Let me say this. Last year, to me, it was pretty obvious. And who knows? Again, you just really never know. But last year, to me, it just felt right, man. We did this for what? 10, 12, 13 maybe consecutive weeks. It was pretty dialed in. 3 of the players they drafted in the first 5 rounds had made dozens of appearances on the show with our mock drafts.
Right.
Like, it was pretty lined up. Like, this is what they should. If it's available, here's how you do it. I think they trade back. I don't see them picking at 6. Even if Miles Murphy's available. I don't see them making a selection. I don't. The only way would be Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
That's the only one to me. But you look at pick 6. What can I get for it? Because I'm just going to take what you told me. Bryce Young's going number 2 overall, right? To Houston unless somebody trades up to 1. Stroud falls out of the top 5. But Will Levis goes 4 to the Colts.
Yep.
Who wants C.J. Stroud?
There you go.
I'm taking the calls.
And who sits behind you? Raiders, Falcons, Panthers.
And what
the
do they all
Titans. Quarterbacks. Every single one of those teams. So, I'm telling you.
And I think we forget.
Yeah.
You know, what's the market cost for a Derek Carr? He's probably getting released. I don't think anybody's trading for him. He's going to get released, and it's going to be free agent heaven for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So that would be one of my bigger concerns is I do think players like a Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo this offseason, they're going to turn some heads, man. They just are. It's the reality. Teams are going to be interested. But who's going to be willing to trade up for C.J. Stroud? Or is it trade up for Will Levis? Who knows? Who knows how the first 5 go? But to me, the more I look at 6, the more it looks like a trade back. Could be to 8, could be to 9, 11. And I don't really have a problem with it because you're drafting defense.
Right.
And if I were to revisit the 2021 NFL draft, or excuse me, the 2022 NFL draft, and I was to look at defensive players, okay, taken in the first 10, top 10, excuse me, who was can't miss, have to take them?
Last year?
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson.
In the top 10. Aiden? Okay, who else?
Sauce.
Okay.
I think he was ready.
Anybody else?
Man,
I wouldn't say Kayvon Thibodeau and Trayvon Walker
yeah.
can't miss. And I'm not going to say the same about Stingley.
top 10.
But
I would say those 2 are the most confident.
I agree.
They were gonna hit.
Well, let's go past the top 10.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's go picks 11 to 32. Which defensive players were available that were taken that really contributed to their team, okay? Let's look at Jordan Davis at 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Kyle Hamilton had a good rookie season, but would you consider him a big-time player? It depends what your cup of tea is, but I thought he was good. I thought he was good his rookie year. You look at Trent McDuffie for Kansas City. He's been pretty damn good. You look at Jermaine Johnson with the Jets, solid. Devin Lloyd, very good for the Jaguars. George Karlaftis, very good for the Chiefs. Daxton Hill, okay. Lewis Sine, okay. But then you get to the second round and it's studs like Jalen Petrie. Okay, now we're going. Andrew Booth Jr. Okay, here we go. We keep going. Josh Pascal for the Lions. Take it for what you will, but Jaquan Brisker. See, I don't have to pick at 6 to get 2, 3 quality defensive players. Yeah. I don't. As Brad Holmes, the way I see it. Now, again, if Sauce Gardner's available or that type of player, or in this case, Jalen Carter, who I don't think will be available, well, then the pick is easy. But I don't think you're taking Kelly Ringo at 6, are you?
No, and I'd like to look at prospects in tiers, right? You look at defensively. The top tier is probably Will Anderson, Jalen Carter. I would even maybe throw Miles Murphy in there, or slightly below. And then you have this next tier. And the reason why I say trade back is you're at 6. What tier of player are you getting? I mean, if you're getting a Brian Bresee, is he that top tier at 6? Are you confident he can be not even just a starter, but a really, really good player? If you don't think so, trade back to 10, 11. You could probably get a similar tier player.
Get him.
Or him. Yeah, there you go. Like, if you're not picking in the top 5, to me, it's worth trading back. I just, especially with the teams behind the Lions that need a quarterback, you could definitely get some assets for it. So, and I think Brad Holmes is the man to be in charge of that operation.
The way I see it, if you trade back, all right, Brian Bresee, probably, if you trade back to 10, you're probably not getting him. But probably 8, 9, he'll still be on the board. Yeah. Same with Miles Murphy.
Or there'll be other players that you'd like, probably just as much.
So let's eliminate positions from the board, okay? Pick 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wherever you trade back, you stay put. Let's eliminate some positions. Are you taking a quarterback? Can I ask you the direct question right now?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
As of right now, no.
No.
Okay. Wide receiver?
No. You're not taking a wide receiver that high.
Okay. This one's tricky because I like the player a lot, Brian Branch, but I don't think you need to address safety. And as much as I like him and I think he'll be a stud in the NFL, maybe I'm biased, but I have my eyes on Joey Porter. It's that simple. I mean, that's my darling. It's your darling as well. That's who we like. That's who we love. We prefer to see him go at, pick 18? That's great, but you look at the board, man. Once Murphy and Brees are off the board,
I mean,
then it becomes, am I reaching? Am I reaching? Mm-hmm. And there's one team that could fuck up this entire thing. And that's the Arizona Cardinals.
Absolutely.
What are they going to do? Because if they go for an offensive lineman, which they should, they need one, and they go for Peter Skronowski out of Northwestern.
Yep.
If they do that, they have handed you a ticket to Miles Murphy, Brian Brees, or Jalen Carter. And if they're assholes and they make the right decision and they take Jalen Carter, well, fuck. So Arizona, to me, have the control of the board because it's going to be Chicago at 1. Who knows? Maybe they trade with Houston, but you would say Will Anderson? Maybe Jalen Carter. Maybe it is Jalen 1. Let's say Jalen 1. Cool. So the Bears fucked us. Great. No problem. But there's no way he's falling to 6, dude. It's just not happening.
I don't think...
Because you're going to get one of the... It's either Anderson or Carter 1.
Yep. It's
going to be Young 2. What does Arizona do at 3? Because if they go and get that tackle, well, then that leaves, if we're honest, that leaves Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, along with Brian Brees, Miles Murphy, available at 6.
And I think Seattle...
Because the Colts will take a quarterback.
And I think Seattle would take one of those players. So if
Will
Will
they
Anderson's
have their pick
there,
of the litter. Is it Will Anderson? Yeah. Is it Brian Brees or Miles Murphy? Now that pick number 6 looks really good. But that is so contingent on Arizona. Because if Arizona goes interior or on the edge, damn it. You know? Mm-hmm. That's when the draft gets tricky to me. So I'm excited, man. This is going to be such an awesome offseason. Draft talk's always going to be fun. But we'll take a break. When we get back, Brad Holmes, got to have the conversation. They need a backup. Do you guys have anybody in mind? I'll take your recommendations in the Woodward Sports chat. Maybe we'll open up the phone lines in a little bit. We'll take callers. But what's a realistic option for the Lions?
And could it be addressed through the draft? And I'll bring that up.
Now we're talking business. Let's do that. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com for more information.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Let me tell you about our friends at Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, because it is the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play for $12, the unlimited open play, or you can pay $120 for a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine, full bar. Check it all out, fullingwarehouse.com.
Fish, why do you always blast my eardrums with music? Why? What have I ever done to you?
I don't know.
What have I done? Have I not treated you well enough?
Well, I didn't feel like I
Am I not a good friend?
I didn't feel like I blasted your ears
Well,
with
I'm
anything.
just asking a question. Am I not a good friend to you?
Yeah?
I'm not?
No, you are.
Oh, okay.
I'm not?
It's offended. It's deeply offended.
I know. Don't say Adam's never treated you well. How dare you,
Fish,
Fish?
when have I ever not treated you well? Dude, I open you to so many ideas. For example, pick up that baseball bat.
Uh-oh.
Now, I want you to envision your happy place. Okay?
Okay. I can
want you
picture
to
it right
imagine
now.
yourself putting that bat and shoving it up your ass.
I cannot picture that, and I will not picture.
Well, how does it make you feel?
You don't got to give that.
I don't really
You don't gotta
have
give
an
that
answer.
answer.
Yeah, I don't have an answer yet.
We might get something we don't want to hear.
I'm not gonna do it. But
Maybe he likes it. Again, I'm just trying to help my friend discover things he likes. Maybe he doesn't like it, but now he knows.
Right.
Right, Fish?
Well, I don't know. 'Cause
That's
I
what
haven't-
friends are for.
Oh, okay.
Like,
what
you're
friends are
just
for.
holding it.
I like the way you're holding that bat, though. Good job. Good form. Well done, buddy.
I'm playing baseball.
I know. It's immense form. I bet you'd hit 60 home runs in a season playing at Comerica.
Yeah, the new edition, Comerica.
Man, you guys remember Prince Fielder?
He was a god. Yeah.
With our right field,
I know.
couldn't hit. Oh, God.
It's a long time coming.
Traumatized as a kid because of that move. I thought that was such a great move when it happened. I was like on cloud 9, bought the jersey as a kid.
Yeah.
Going nuts. This dude's going to hit 55 home runs this year. God, if you want to talk about freezing cold takes, just go to me as a kid. I thought Prince Fielder was fucking God. And I was one of the kids that believed Brian Braun back in the day.
Yeah.
I was. I'm just going to be totally honest with you guys.
See, I think we all have those takes as kids.
Oh
man.
my God. I thought Brian Braun was telling the truth. I couldn't believe that he would take steroids. Wrong.
Everyone thought Prince Fielder was the god.
That was naive, Adam.
That's why we signed him.
Like,
What is it?
Everyone thought Prince
he
Fielder
was
was
excellent.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but he didn't live up to the number,
No.
to the money, to
No, he
anything,
did not.
unfortunately. But regardless, let's take a segue.
Hey, did I blast your ears? I mean,
Yes.
that's how you started. Oh, okay.
Well, regardless, Jeff,
Well,
Jared Goff is the guy. Brad Holmes has addressed this. This is public knowledge. We all know it. He's earned the right to be the starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Having said that, Jeff, you're looking for a backup quarterback.
Yep.
Where are you looking? Is it in free agency where you can bring an adult in the room, and if you do need him for 1 or 2 or 3 games, he can step right in, learn the system, and be the guy? Or Do you start thinking about your future, or do you just take a flyer in the 3rd or 4th round? Like, what is Jeff's strategy?
I think there's a lot of different ways you could approach this. They obviously went with the veteran approach with Tim Boyle, David Blau, and then you have Nate Sudfeld. But now, and I love how Brad Holmes mentioned this recently, and he's very self-aware of where the team is right now. Like, where the team was the last 2 years, you didn't necessarily need a backup. I know that was a big conversation, but we always talked about if Jared Goff goes down, your season's over regardless, and I still believe that. But now when you have a team that's able to contend, not even contend, but make the playoffs, possibly contend for your division, it is important to have some sort of backup. Let's say Jared misses 2 games. That can at least, you can be 1-1, or dare I say 2-0. You don't want to be in a situation where Jared being injured, not saying he always is because he's pretty durable, but him being injured derails your entire season. So I love that Brad Holmes mentioned this. I think there's 2 ways to approach this. Either through free agency, if you want to sign a veteran that's available, wouldn't be necessarily upset. The way I would approach this is you take a flyer on a quarterback, because there's going to be some guys that fall in this draft, like a Max Duggan, a Tanner McKee, whoever it may be, that you might be able to develop behind Jared Goff, and if Jared Goff goes down, God forbid, that's the least desired scenario, you at least have somebody that has been groomed, that has a little bit of that upside, a guy that you can, not saying he's going to take over for Jared, but at least you have some talent back there. So with Brad Holmes, we haven't seen him draft a quarterback. He did a lot of scouting for Jared Goff, but we can say with Brad Holmes, he's good at finding these types of players. Like, for example, he's drafted an offensive lineman, he nailed that. Defensive lineman, he's been good at that. Safety, nailed Kirby. So the quarterback position, I don't know what to think, but I'm confident that if a guy like Tanner McKee, who else is here? I wouldn't go for Stetson Bennett. I know people mentioned that after the national.
Don't do player,
but
round.
Probably, I would say 3rd, 4th, 5th round if you can get somebody around that area. I think the first 2 rounds should be
free agent then. Because to me, that's just not worth it.
Well, unless if you have a guy like Max Duggan fall to early 3rd round, maybe you take Max Duggan, but it'll probably be in free agency, but I wouldn't have a problem if they took a flyer on a quarterback either.
Blaine Gabbert, Case Keenum, Jacoby Brissett, Teddy Bridgewater, Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, all free agents this upcoming offseason. Those are your free agents this year. You can bring them in at an affordable rate, but then again, is it more cost effective for me to just draft one? And the more I think about it,
it is.
I just want you to look at the board. Forget the pick. Forget where you're picking them. You walk me through your tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 quarterbacks. I'll define them, and then you give me your list. I'll tell you you're a fucking idiot, or I agree with you. Fair?
Mm-hmm.
Tier 1, franchise guys, got to take them in the top 5, top 6, top 7.
Yes.
Okay, tier 2, guys you can take at the end of the 1st round, early 2nd round, late 2nd round. Tier 3, anybody past the 3rd round that you're really not hopeful for, but you don't mind taking a swing. So walk me through the players, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and I would say 5 guys in total from the top of my head. You can go 6 if you want to add a guy like Bo Nix, but go ahead. Tier 1 quarterbacks, give me them. You can't pass on them.
Bryce Young, no question.
Only.
Yeah, I would put Bryce as the only quarterback in that top tier to me. I mean, he's been the guy I even said if the Lions can get him, that'd be the only quarterback I would want to take. Slightly below him, tier 2, kind of trending. We'll see how GMs view him, is CJ Stroud. I think he's tier 2. In that same tier, and this isn't my opinion, but I think many would view him in this way, is Will Levis. He's going to go high in this draft.
He's going top 5.
He's going top 5. So in that case, you got to put him
in tier 2. And whether people like it or not, because you know what? Drew Brees got people like Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, and Baker Mayfield drafted number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Not Russell Wilson, obviously, he's a 3rd-round pick, but you get my point.
No, 100% agree. I think Will Levis is in that.
And Will Levis,
that
you know
2.
why he's going to get drafted? Whether you think it's fair or not, it's because of the success Josh Allen is having.
Absolutely.
And that's his comp. Whether you agree with it, I agree with it, that's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's taking a chance on the kid. Moving on. You said C.J. Stroud, and this is where I want to stop you, was tier 2.
Yeah.
And my definition was late 1st round, early 2nd round. You could even argue mid to late 2nd round. Okay? So if C.J. Stroud is that, and I told you traded back from 6 to 11, and you got Kelly Ringo, or you got Joey Porter, what do you do at pick 18? Because now you've He won't be available.
Yeah.
And you just eliminated every quarterback off the board. So if you don't take a guy like C.J. Stroud at 6, he's not available. He's not on your board. It's that simple. So who's the second round? Who's the third round guy? Mm-hmm. That's really my question. Is it Bo Nix, Hendon Hooker? Is it,
Max Duggan?
Max Duggan.
Yeah.
You walk me through what scenario is better for you. Because you showed me your tiers.
Yeah.
I don't really disagree. Maybe I'd want to put tier 1. I put Stroud and Levis in there because that's where they're going to go. But regardless,
if you're doing based on where they're drafted, I agree.
Where I think I would take
talent,
them. Where I think I would take them.
Okay, that's fair.
Because
CJ, Will Levis, and Bryce will all go top 5. So if you're going off your rankings, I would agree. They're all tier 1, technically, by that measurement. And the next tier, guys that I think Anthony Richardson will be a first-round pick. So I'm not going to say he's tier 3 or anything like that.
We thought Malik Willis was going to be a first-round pick, too. But to Anthony
you're
Richardson's
correct.
credit, he plays at Florida.
Yep,
Kid's
SEC.
a stud athlete, showed a lot of flash this year. Having said that, I'm not even entertaining it, but moving on.
And then the tier that would probably fit where I'd want, as in the Lions taking a quarterback in the 3rd, 4th round, a couple guys I'll bring up. 2 off the top of my head, Tanner McKee. He's got the intangibles, 6'6", played at Stanford. He's a prototypical drop-back passing quarterback. He's your field general. That's a guy that you could probably take. He'll probably be there, I would say, 3rd round, maybe late 2nd. I wouldn't take him that high, but if he's there, that's a quarterback to consider. Another one would have to be Max Duggan, and you mentioned it. The guy just checks off a lot of boxes. He's not a guy I would take in the 2nd round, but if he's there 3rd, maybe even 4th, I doubt he'll be there later than that. But that's a quarterback I would consider. Those 2 guys are what I would qualify as flyer quarterbacks. Quarterbacks you take, maybe they have some upside, maybe they don't. Regardless, you have someone behind Jared that you can at least groom and then eventually trust to win a game or 2. So Tanner McKee, just to mention 2 guys, Tanner McKee and Max Duggan.
I find that very interesting. And I think the thing maybe we're not taking into consideration is, what do the Lions have this year? Draft capital, right? Mm-hmm. What do the Lions also have? A very young roster. A lot of pieces on the older side that they can move if they wanted to. Are we not taking into consideration that the Detroit Lions could very well trade out of 6, fall back with a team that has 2 first-round picks? Are we not taking that into consideration? Because if we do, and you know what, just so I'm accurate and I give you guys a perfect example, let's say that you have, pick number 6, you want to trade with Philly. Philly, I believe, have 2 first-round picks this year. They have picks number, where is it? I'm missing my number. Pick number 10 and pick number, they only have 1 actually, I lied. Oh no, pick 1 and pick 31. 10 and 31. What if I told you the Lions traded back into the 1st round to draft Anthony Richardson at 31?
I would be fine, knowing they took 2 defensive players before that.
So this is my question, is if I were to make a trade, but again, Philly don't need to trade up.
No.
You see the problem here?
Yeah.
So
that's a luxury pick for them.
The scenario to me is they don't move. They take a Brian Burress, let's say, or a Miles Murphy, and they take a Joey Porter at 18. And they have 2 second-round picks that we're having a conversation, all of us, about running back and what? A tight end? A guard? Another interior lineman? Another corner? Or Brad Holmes says, fuck it. I'll trade you my 2, and I'll trade up to pick 31, Philly. You don't need the pick. And at the end of the 1st round, I'm going to go get my quarterback.
Lamar Jackson style.
Assuming that's who the guy is, right?
Yeah.
So Anthony Richardson, to me, is the only realistic option, but I don't want him. That's the only problem I have. I don't want him.
But, I think I would have less of a problem, like you said, if you have the selection at 6 and 18 and you get that 31st pick. Because you get the 5th-year option. That's a bonus for any quarterback. You take Anthony Richardson. If he works out, you got another year on him. So I don't have an issue with that. The big thing is, as long as they address the defense. So if both those picks in the 1st round, they pick defensive players, and you have an opportunity to get Anthony Richardson, I think it'll be easy for me to digest that, rather than missing out on a corner to take Anthony Richardson or the best linebacker to take Anthony Richardson. That would probably be more – that would be tougher.
You know, I suggested this the other day. Can we throw this up in a poll? And I want to react to it coming out of the break. So Lamar Jackson, unstable regards to his knee. I want to discuss him, Derek Carr. But I also want to discuss one player in our division who is a quarterback whose future really impacts the Detroit Lions, and that's Justin Fields. What if I told you, what if I sold you on the idea that the Bears should draft Bryce Young, number 1 overall? Would you agree or disagree with me? Because I think Justin Fields is nothing more than a younger version of Lamar Jackson in terms of running and throwing ability. You guys, you can keep making excuses, whether it's his surroundings, whether it's his receivers, his offensive line. That's fine. I get it. We're always going to make excuses for players we want to see do well, just like Jeff Okudah. But is Justin Fields a franchise quarterback? That's the question. I want to know. Is he a franchise quarterback? And if a majority of you say no, why the fuck wouldn't you take a quarterback number 1 overall if you're the Bears? Especially Bryce Young. Move Justin Fields to running back. Have him gain 15, 20 pounds. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. And again, this all stems from, I don't think it's not that he's not a very good player or that he's not dynamic. Hell, he torched us twice. What's Lamar dealing with? Anybody? Oh, a knee injury. Why? Runs a lot. Fell on his knee running. Oh, okay. Justin Fields, banged up all year, missed some games. Oh, already? Year 2? Oh. That's why I don't like these kind of quarterbacks. It's not that I don't think Fields has talent or Lamar doesn't have talent. Lamar's an MVP. But is that the guy I want at my quarterback position for the next 10, 15 years? I don't think they'll last 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know? What do I know? When we get back, we'll have that conversation, what the Bears could do, what it means for the Lions, Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr, a lot of moving parts this offseason. 9 o'clock, we'll get to the coaching carousel. Ben Johnson, is he on his way out? We'll do all that and more coming up. But before we do, I got to tell you about my good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of Fish and myself. So what are you waiting for? 10 to 8, no appointment necessary. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Let me tell you about my good friends over at Matrix Home Solutions. Whether you're looking to build yourself a man cave, renovate the basement because your wife's on your ass, or the kitchen and the bathroom. And if it's all the above, well, fucking get on the phone right now. Call 888-594-8844. The team at Matrix Home Solutions will take care of you and get your wife or husband, depending on your situation, off your ass. An A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. There is no better team, no better company, nobody else you should trust with your home more than Matrix Home Solutions. That was fucking solid, by the way. That was one of my best ones. I got a round of applause for myself.
Good job,
round
Adam.
of applause for myself. So we threw up a poll. Jeff so kindly did. Is Justin Fields a franchise quarterback? 73% of you said no.
And that's
so why is this a conversation?
That's you know what's funny? That's Lions fans, and they're willing to. It's not like, oh yeah, he is, so they won't draft Bryce. They're honest. No, he's not. 73% say no.
73% of you say he's not. So why not rip off the Band-Aid? And I like Justin Fields. Like, as a human, he's a great dude. He has, like, a lot of character intangibles.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see my quarterback running around. I just don't. It's my preference. You can draft him. You can keep him. You can build your team around him. You can have Lamar Jackson. I don't give a shit. I don't. But for me, when I go about building a team, honestly, I'd much rather have a Jared Goff than I would a Justin Fields. I'd much rather have a Jared Goff right now than Lamar Jackson. And as crazy as that may sound, Lamar's an MVP. Exceptional athlete. I just can't rely on you. And Josh Allen is the exception.
Yeah, because
he can take a beating.
Yeah.
All right, and you know what? Knock on wood, he hasn't gotten injured yet significantly, thank God. But even then, it bothers me. I don't want to see it. I don't want my quarterback putting himself in harm's way. I just don't. So what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Sit up here and lie to you? 71% of you right now say he's not. So why would you not take Bryce Young?
So if you're Ryan Poles, you're pulling the trigger.
If I'm Ryan Poles, I got an image to keep. Because I have not given this quarterback, fair or not, an offensive line. I traded a second-round pick for a shitty wide receiver who spends more time on TikTok than he does catching balls on the field. I'm already in deep water. So I don't know if I'm Ryan Poles, if I have the leverage, if I have the cachet within the organization to say, we missed on this pick that we traded up for. I'm going to go draft Bryce Young number 1 overall. Very rarely does that happen. Very rarely as a GM do you get the opportunity to draft 2 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think Ryan Poles will do it. So if the Bears offered you Fields for pick number 18, you wouldn't do it? Absolutely not. I wouldn't give them a second-round pick for Justin Fields. Now, if I wanted to convert him at running back, maybe I'd offer a 4th-round pick, yes. Maybe next year's 4th and a 5th. Who knows?
Well,
but I have no interest in Justin Fields being my quarterback.
So if I'm Ryan Poles, there's 2 ways to approach this, and I think there's an argument. I really do believe for both, because if you look at from your point of view, a couple things. If you take Bryce Young, number 1, the rookie contract reset. So financially, it actually is beneficial for the Bears because you have him under contract now for 5 years. The next part is, and the negative part is that Justin Fields has battled a lot of adversity this year. He has. And I know you telling me he runs the ball too much, and which is true. He takes off a lot. I think that's partially because there's little to no help. He has no offensive line in Chicago, and part of that is simply the offense he was in. They changed the offense completely, so it was more of a quarterback-driven offense with the run game and what he can do, how explosive he is. And he's also, as much as you say, Lamar Jackson, I think Justin Fields is bigger than Lamar Jackson, more built, so he can handle hits. But how he ended the season with that shoulder injury, it does give you concern for the future. But the problem is, if you take Bryce Young, he's still going into a situation where Justin Fields was. So you have no
limited
offensive
supporting
line.
cast, no wide receivers.
And by the way, the difference is the main one with Bryce is he's smaller, he's shorter than Justin Fields.
And this is why I told you, if I'm Ryan Poles, I don't think I can pull that trigger. I walked into a situation, I had Justin Fields, and you know what I did in my first draft as a GM? I gave him 0 support on the offensive line or at wide receiver. That's what I did my first year.
Right.
So, again, I don't know if Ryan Poles can do this. But I'm telling you guys from now, I called it before the season, the Bears are in hell. They have a quarterback that the GM didn't draft. They have a quarterback that the head coach wasn't a part of. They have a defensive-minded head coach. And they have a GM who in his first draft, with a quarterback going into his second season, who showed a little bit of promise.
Right.
Said, fuck you, I'm just going to draft defense. Oh, and maybe a lineman in the 4th or 5th round. That's what you get, Justin. Here you go.
Right.
Oh, and we're not going to spend money. Here you go. And we're going to trade Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. So, again, I don't like Justin Fields as a quarterback. I wouldn't want him on my team. If I was Chicago, I would try to move on as quickly as possible. Having said that, I don't think it's realistic for them. They'll probably go defense.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson put out the statement yesterday. He's not 100%. He's a guy you want to see play. Did he make a mistake by not taking a contract before the season started?
No, the Ravens made a mistake, because I'll tell you why. I mean, and Lamar's kind of proven that. I know he's banged up, but let's be honest. If he had guaranteed money, he'd be playing. There's no question. The reason why he's not playing, and he's kind of sitting back and going, you know what, let's watch the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. They're 4-8 in Lamar's career without him. This is his 17th straight missed practice. I know the report came out his knee was unstable. They're averaging 13 points without him. So if you take the time to build an offense around Lamar, they completely change the philosophy in which they do offensively, and now you're kind of getting cold feet paying him. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So Lamar Jackson, I don't blame him for sitting out of this playoff game. I mean, why would you come back and risk a potential career-ending injury for what? You have no guaranteed money. And if I'm Lamar, I'm sitting back and I'm going, you know what? Let's watch Dak Prescott play in the playoffs, shall we? A quarterback who's making this year about $40 million. Yeah. Let's see how Dak plays, right? I mean, because if I'm Lamar, it's nothing about would you pay Lamar. The fact of the matter is, Jared Goff got paid early in his contract. When an organization likes their quarterback, they pay him early. That's typically Kyler Murray. Before the ACL injury, he was paid. Teams that wait, like the Cowboys, Dak Prescott got paid way too much money, and that's kind of, like I always say, yesterday's price isn't tomorrow's price. So if you wait on these contracts, you're most likely going to pay the price regardless. So the Ravens, to me, you don't have a future without Lamar. I'm sorry. It's going to take you time, and if you want to stay in contention, pay Lamar Jackson. Simply pay Lamar Jackson. This isn't the 2000s. You can't win with a great defense and you go get Trent Dilfer. Like, you need Lamar, and I know you're not a fan of how he plays, and I get it, but the fact of the matter is he's a winner. So you don't think
it was a mistake that he didn't take a 40, whatever the contract was, $200+ million on 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was?
And how much was? I got to look at the specifics of it. Like, the guaranteed money,
50 million of it wasn't guaranteed. So it was about 170, 180 million guaranteed.
And I would have to look at, like, for example,
reportedly,
Dak Prescott had 126 mil guaranteed. Matthew Stafford, I know Matthew won a Super Bowl, but still 120 million guaranteed. I mean, you look at Deshaun Watson, still got 230 guaranteed. And what are the Browns doing? When he came back, they looked almost worse than when he was gone. So if I'm Lamar, from a business perspective, I don't blame him from how he's approached this. Like, Lamar, he understands, listen, I might not have the shelf life of some of these other quarterbacks. I want to get paid. And this isn't a guy that you took #1 overall that is making all this guaranteed money. He was the last pick in the first round. So, you know, it's kind of like the Dak Prescott argument. Dak was taken, the third, fourth round? Like, if I'm Dak, I'm saying, yeah, I'm getting paid. I mean, I'm not playing for $1 million a year. Like, it's not happening. So I got no problem with Lamar. I think it's more the Ravens have to find a way to get these done. They really do. So whatever it is. I'm not going to say was Lamar wrong or not. I don't know the specifics of it. What was he asking for? What were they giving him? I don't know. But all I know is the Ravens got to sign that check because they waited too long to get this done.
What if I told you that if I'm the Ravens, I let Lamar walk?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem I have with Lamar is he wins games.
Yeah, he does.
He literally has an argument for everything I say, good or bad, about him, right? Anything I can bring up negative about him or things that I don't like or I can nitpick, he has a solution. 45-16 career overall record. A 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
Mm-hmm.
A better interception percentage in terms of how many interceptions he throws per pass than some of the 7-8 best quarterbacks in the NFL. So it's conflicting. But with Lamar, this is my concern. And tell me, Adam, you're not being fair, but this is the biggest pain point I have with Lamar Jackson and quarterbacks like Lamar, who are run first. Injured. He hasn't finished the full season since 2019. And in 2019, he didn't even play all 16 games, but it was because he was the MVP and they had a bye week. So he sat out the final game of the year. So for 3 consecutive seasons, he's failed to play all the games. 15, 12, and 12. And you want me to shell out a fully guaranteed contract for him, while he's 3 years past his MVP season, and he's now going into year 6. And how old will he be? I want to say 29. Is he going to be Mike Vick fast like he was 3 years ago, 4 years ago? How old is Lamar Jackson? 28?
26.
26, even better. Great. So he's 26. He's probably got 2-3 years at most with those legs.
Right.
Where he's got a distance on players. But that distance is going to keep doing this as the contract goes on. And then what? And has he developed enough to you as a passer for you to give him that contract? I would say no, because he's thrown for 3,000 yards once, and you can say, well, he has been injured the last 2 years, so how is he supposed to? That's the point. That's the point. So that's where I'm at with Lamar. It's not that I don't think he's super talented or that he's an elite
I get it.
elite runner, or I don't think he's a top 10, top 12 quarterback. He is. He's exceptional. But when you ask me to shell out that kind of money, that's not so exceptional to me anymore.
And if I'm Lamar, I'd respond with, yes, defensively, I've had a good team around me. But who's the best receiver that Lamar's had during his tenure there with the Ravens? You could probably make an argument.
It's Mark Andrews, who's the tight end.
That's it. Like, and I look, Mark Andrews, one of the best tight ends in the league. You got to go and get Lamar weapons. That was kind of the case. Even the year he won MVP, threw for over 30 touchdowns. I think he had Hollywood Brown that year. I mean, he had a plethora of wide receivers.
You guys are hilarious.
Part of that is on Lamar, yes, but also that's on the Ravens for not acquiring wide receiver talent consistently every year.
Do not compare Lamar Jackson to Steve Young. Lamar Jackson as a runner is to the 10th degree better than Steve Young was as a runner. Having said that, Steve Young, to the 10th degree, was a better passer than Lamar Jackson.
Right.
In the 1990s, he threw for 3,400, 4,000, 4,000, 3,200 yards in a 4-year stretch. Won MVP twice, and finished in the top 2 in voting 3 straight years.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's not do that to ourselves, okay? So that's my issue with Lamar. We ran out of time. We got to go to break. When we get back, Ben Johnson, the center of attention, Eric Bieniemy, a lot of coaches interviewing. I'm going to give you a case to who I think teams should hire, and I have bad news about Ben Johnson because I don't think I can defend the move anymore. Okay? We'll have that conversation coming up, but before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Let me tell you about them. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings. Cintron has combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box. You can try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free all in one pack. Pre-order a Cintron 6-pack sampler box today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron.
What's a winter wonderland if you can't shop, eat, and play? Lucky for you, you can do it all at the Downtown Detroit Markets, Cadillac Lodge, and the new winter version of the Monroe Street Midway, all located just across the street from Campus Martius Park. Find the fun at deckedoutdetroit.com.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Let me tell you about Alta, because uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, Alta has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com, top of the hour. So, Eric Bieniemy, I want to get him out of the way because we need to talk about Ben Johnson. Eric Bieniemy interviewed with the Colts. And, you know, we laugh about it. Oh, he hasn't gotten a job in years. He's interviewed. He's always interviewed. I don't know why teams haven't hired Eric Bieniemy. I'm not going to sit up here and say there's a good reason, because I don't know. I don't. Comes from the Andy Reid coaching tree, which is the ultimate nest of amazing to very good to good at worst coaches that have come out in the league recently. Having said that, I think the Colts, if they were to ever take a swing on a guy, I think Eric Bieniemy would be a good decision for the Colts. I do. I do. You bring in a guy like a Will Levis. You draft him number what? What pick are they? 4 or 5 this year? I want to say they're 4. They're pick 4, the Colts are.
Yep.
You draft a Levis, you draft a Stroud, whatever you like. I like Bieniemy to the Colts. I actually think it makes sense. I won't lie. And why he hasn't gotten hired, because of his track record, because of what he did in the past, I don't know. I don't. I'm not in the rooms. What I will tell you, and this is only what I think, okay? This is only what I believe to be true. And what I believe is, even if I were a GM, and I'm looking at this offseason, I've got DeMeco Ryans, Ben Johnson, and Jim Harbaugh at the top of my list. And you know what? You guys want to play the race card or say, how is Mike Kafka getting looks? And Eric Bieniemy's been there longer. I don't know. I can't explain it. And maybe I'd want to interview just to see what he's like. But the dude's been passed on for years. I don't have an explanation. But I know going into this offseason, there were 3 people at the top of my list. DeMeco Ryans, Ben Johnson, and Jim Harbaugh. Why Bieniemy hasn't gotten a job, I don't know. But I want to talk about Ben Johnson. Jeff, we made jokes about it. Would he leave? Would he not? I told you there's no chance in hell he would pass on coaching a top 5 offense next season. And I'm not feeling good about it this morning. I'm not feeling good about it, and I'm going to walk you through why. And you tell me, Adam, shut the fuck up. Or you tell me, Adam, you're onto something here. That Carolina job makes sense. It just does. You've got players coming off the books. That salary cap situation will improve over the coming days, weeks, years. They're going to have their option. And if they can trade up to 6 and grab C.J. Stroud from where the Lions are picking, I'm sure they would make a move up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, Carolina right now, if I'm Ben Johnson, a new GM will be in town.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to get offered a 5-year deal. $30 million? Who says no?
And on top of that, I talked about this before, the connections he has to Carolina. Like, he can't, those things you can't just let slide. Like,
as the days go on and I hear less and less about Carolina's interviews, the more concerned I'm growing about Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. Because if you're looking at, now, from Carolina's perspective, I did say this as well, it doesn't make a ton of sense. Because you're going from an unproven head coach that you fired to now another unproven head coach. By the way, love Ben Johnson. You know how much we love him. But that doesn't take away from the fact if you're looking at the philosophy in which they hire coaches, usually they overcorrect, right? Like if you hire a Matt Rule and it goes completely wrong, usually a team would bring in an experienced head coach the next time. You're going back-to-back guys that are unexperienced, but I love Ben Johnson, so I wouldn't hate it.
I don't like where this is going. Because, guys, look, I try to be fair as much as I can. Do you guys not understand how much money Carolina has? Next season, they are projected to have over $114 million in cap space.
Still with a good defense.
And still with a good defense that's locked up for the coming years.
Yeah.
And yes, DJ Moore's getting a little older, but you got Shaq Thompson, you got Brian Burns, you got Dante Jackson, you got Derek Brown. You got Akeem Ikwanu, who was taken this year in the first round, top pick overall. You've got J.C. Horn. Ben Johnson's just got to walk in and figure out the wide receiver room. He's got to figure out the offensive line a little bit. He's got to get the quarterback right. That's it. And they're a playoff team in the NFC.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, Carolina's not the most appealing, but if they get their quarterback, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, whoever it is, they go out and acquire their guy. Wouldn't you be confident that Ben Johnson could do wonders with him? Because he did it with Jared Goff.
Right.
So we look at the Carolina job. It does make sense to me. It does. Because next year, DJ Moore, he's a $20 million cap hit? They have so much flexibility. They do. And they're going to want to resign Brian Burns. They're going to want to resign Shaq Thompson. Sure. But they'll still have $85 million left over in cap space after that. Like, they're fine.
And if they take a quarterback on a rookie deal,
and they've got draft picks next year.
Yeah,
like the Panthers' job makes sense, man. It just does. Now, who the GM is, what the relationship will be like, who knows?
Will he have a say?
But I know
in it?
He's picking 9th overall. Steve Wilkes proved that you can win games with this team. Detroit, you saw it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
So get the offense right. and you know the defense will put you in position to win games. It's the complete opposite of Detroit. Detroit, you know the offense is going to give you a chance. Can the defense get you a stop? Can they get you a turnover, Jeff? The more I look at it, the more Ben Johnson to the Panthers just makes sense.
Yeah,
and if I'm the Panthers, I like it.
You need someone that can fix your offense. You saw what Ben Johnson was able to do as a first-year OC. And I think more than that, people talking about, well, is Ben ready to be a head coach? The leadership, does he lack leadership? Let's be honest here. Kevin O'Connell, was he ever a glorified leader coming out of L.A.? Minnesota players love him. Like, I don't think that's a huge part of it. He's got to be this, Dan Campbell-esque leader. All you look at with Ben Johnson is, can you call plays? Can you develop a quarterback? Can you get our offense at least trending in the right direction? Because we know what they have defensively. Carolina's a great situation. And on top of that, all the connections he has to Carolina. I mean, you can't tell me he wouldn't be interested. Played quarterback at North Carolina. Like, there's clearly connections there. So, listen, Ben Johnson and the Panthers, I think that's a team you got to watch out for. I really do.
That's a team this year that if you look at their draft picks, they've got picks 9, 39, 60, 92. Like, they got 4 picks in the top 92. It's not bad. You can get some players, but at the end of the day, if you draft a rookie quarterback, and let's say you stay put at 9, like, most people think the Lions are going to pass on C.J. Stroud. PFF doesn't think so, but I think we all agree unlikely they take a quarterback at 6. That means that dude's going to be on the board at 9. It's just the truth. And if they want to trade up, they can, sure, but, I'm not telling you that Carolina is a walk-in situation and you're winning a Super Bowl in 2 years. But let's be real here. If I told you you upgrade at quarterback in the offseason, can Carolina contend for the division? Yeah, because it sucks.
You're in
the Saints,
and you're in
the Falcons, the Bucks, who might lose Tom Brady at the end of the year.
You're in the NFC.
And you're in the NFC. Like, come on, guys, work with me here. And it's not easy to get your quarterback. Let's not play that game either. It's easier said than done. But wouldn't you have confidence in a Ben Johnson if the Lions drafted a quarterback? Cool. Then why wouldn't the Panthers have confidence? The more I look at Ben Johnson to Carolina, the more it makes sense. Mm-hmm. And if I'm Carolina, I look at the field. I don't think I have a chance at DeMeco Ryans. I'm not really interested in bringing Jim Harbaugh to Carolina. Ben Johnson, Mike Kafka, Eric Bieniemy. I'm looking for an offensive guy. Yeah. I would be curious if Carolina does it. I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be curious to see how it goes with Ben there. Because, like I said, you go for Matt Rule. I get he never coached in the NFL, so there's the difference. Ben at least was an OC for a year, and he's been in the NFL for quite some time in various roles. But I'm curious how. I still believe Steve Wilkes. Maybe if you want to get a quarterback, you want an OC, a guy who's an offensive guru to groom that quarterback. I think Steve Wilkes deserves to be in that conversation. But you're probably right. Looking at the field, I mean, who are you realistically getting? It's probably Ben Johnson at the first on your list. I mean, if you're taking a swing, it's got to be Ben. If you're Carolina, if you're trying to stay comfortable and you want to bring in a GM and let him make the decisions, well, the GM's going to say, all right, Steve, I'll give you a 2-year deal, and I'm going to fire you after 2 years probably if you don't win. It's that simple. Yeah. Welcome to the NFL. It's going to be the same for Ben. Hey, Ben, here's the job. If you can't turn this into a winner by year 3, you're probably fired. Let's take a break. When we get back, time to talk some playoffs. So we'll start with the NFC. Seahawks, Niners, Giants, Vikings, Cowboys, Bucks. We'll preview all the games. We'll share our thoughts, our predictions. At 9:40, Fish will do the 10 facts. You game?
Yeah, I just played the wrong sounder, though, so I'm a little depressed now.
Fish, you have no idea how aggravating that is.
I feel the same way you do, trust.
Stop fucking up. And stop playing stupid fucking music.
I play great music. You just don't know how to listen.
I'm trying to talk. When I'm talking, don't play music. When you're talking, you can play music.
Can I go home and watch snooker and cricket now?
You're going to get fired pretty soon, buddy. All right. We'll take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about the NFC playoffs. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Guardian Alarm.
Let me tell you about them. Guardian Alarm, it's a new year. Let them offer you customized solutions from real experts. They're professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call them anytime, day or night. And know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone for as long as you need. They also have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for more information.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Let me tell you about my good friends over at Custom Health Centers. Ryan Ermanni has been on a emotional but really relieving journey. Down 27 pounds, changed his body, changed his life. He walks around with a little bit more pep in his step.
Yeah.
He's a different man now, and I'm very happy for him. Check him out 2 to 4 on the Ermanni and Edwards show. So very happy for him. Thank you to Dr. Jason and the team over at Custom Health Centers. Start your health journey today. 844-789-8446. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com. Jeff, Seahawks, Niners. To me, the Seahawks, rightfully so, are being written off. The Niners are just too damn good. They just are. I don't see a way the Seahawks can win this game. They were unimpressive against the Rams. 10-point dogs going into San Francisco. I think this is an easy W. I do. Brock Purdy, they're not going to ask him to do much. It's all going to go through Kittle, CMC, and that defense. Give me the Niners to cover here. I think this is a complete mismatch for Seattle.
Yeah, I'm looking at the this is on Caesar Sportsbook. I don't know what it is on FanDuel, but San Francisco favored by 10. I'm going to say they cover that. I think they take care of the Seahawks. I know it's tough to beat a team for the 3rd time in a row. They beat Seattle both times this year, and now Seahawks have a lot of film, a lot of things they can correct. I just don't think it'll be enough. I think as long as Brock Purdy takes care of the football, 49ers win this game. And I think they cover the 10 points.
I think one of my favorite things that people talk about that has no weight at all is, they're mad. They're upset that they lost.
Yeah, twice.
Last time, and the last time before that. Conor McGregor got his ass kicked by Khabib. I'm sure he was very mad. You know what would happen if they fought again? He would lose. Again. And again. And again. I don't care how mad you are. That doesn't mean you play better. That doesn't mean you're faster or stronger, or your coach is able to put together a better game plan just because he's more angry.
Hey, Packers took care of the Lions. Out of the last 30 times, they've won 3. Now 4 out of the last 31, considering they just beat them recently. But still, that's the same analogy I'll use. As much as I'll give the Seahawks a chance, a puncher's chance, if the 49ers lose this game, I would be shocked. Completely shocked. It's not happening.
Please, maybe I'm a MMA noob, but last I checked during that fight, Khabib and Conor, because Alex says you clearly don't watch that fight, huh? Khabib mauled him.
Oh, yeah, he did.
That was not a fair fight.
And he talked to him while he was mauling him, yeah.
He was talking shit the whole time. What, McGregor landed maybe 2 good punches?
Yeah, that was it.
Khabib knocked him down more times?
Yeah, he took him down.
It wasn't even about the ground game.
Took him down and mauled him.
He stood up and knocked him down.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close. By the way, I think that was like the last UFC fight I watched. Maybe one of the only ones I've watched.
It's a good one to last 2
Why wait? You should tap in next Saturday from Brazil.
Where do you come from?
The audio booth.
Fucking fish. Moving on to the next game. Giants-Vikings. This game, to me, is my favorite game of the weekend.
I would agree.
2 rookie head coaches. One of them's going to have a playoff win on their resume. I am very excited about this matchup. The number 3 seed Minnesota Vikings, the 6 seed Giants. Jeff, Minnesota at home. It's not prime time, Kirk, but it is a 4 o'clock game. Who's showing up? Who wins the game and why?
This is why it's my favorite game, because I got an upset. Giants win this game. And honestly, Minnesota's only favored by 3 at home. We know Minnesota this year, they're fraudulent. They're 8-1 at home, but if you look at some of those wins, they didn't win in the most prettiest fashion, and that's kind of been the Vikings' MO all year, is winning one-score games. This could be another one-score game, but give me the Giants in this one. The Vikings have a terrible defense. They have a terrible secondary, and even with Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, I'm taking the Giants, baby. Let's roll.
My God.
I'm putting it where my mouth is, because I talked about the Vikings. Although NFC North winners and one of the best teams in the NFC, they're very, very fraudulent to me. I mean, you can't be this good with that bad of a defense. So, and a quarterback like Kirk, who tends to just completely melt down. So, give me the Giants in this matchup. And this game will probably alone give Daniel Jones an extension.
How ironic would that be if the Giants won a playoff game year one with Dabble?
Yeah, give me the Giants.
Brian Dable, unbelievable.
That's got to be concerning. The Vikings are 3-point favorites at home.
It's a playoff game, man. And Vegas knows they're not a 13-4 team. They're just not. That's not who they are. They're a fraud. They're more of a 10-7 team. 11-6 at best. That's what they really are.
Yeah.
The Vikings are legitimately a 10-11 win team. They're not a 13-win team. A 13-win team is a Super Bowl contender. I don't think many have this team as a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
Now, before the season started, I told you Niners, Vikings in the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
That was my bet. That's where I'm sticking with.
Sticking okay? Okay.
I'm riding the Niners all the way. Give me the Vikings to beat the Giants here. I do think it'll be a close game. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, there's a lot of solutions with that offense. I'm not sure where the offense is going to come from with the Giants. Is it just Saquon? So the whole game plan has always been Saquon. We'll see.
And I like teams that don't have anything to lose either. I do. Like the Giants are just, I mean, they overperformed this year. They're happy to be in the playoffs. The Vikings have everything going for them. The Giants are like, hey, we're happy to be here. They're going to play with a little less pressure. Give me the Giants. I wouldn't be shocked.
All right, here's what we'll do. We'll move on to the Cowboys-Bucks, and then we'll get to the AFC coming out of the next break.
Yep.
Cowboys-Bucks, who do you got? And I'll start with, I usually hate betting against Tom Brady. It's cost me before.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, coming off one of their worst performances of the year, I actually think the Cowboys win this game. I think they go on the road and they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As much as I think the Cowboys are choke artists, Tampa Bay barely won their division for a reason. They're not the team you saw in the Super Bowl last year, or not last year, the year prior. This is a team that's gotten older. They're not as dominant. Now, is it going to be a close game? I do think so. But give me the Cowboys, man. I think their defense has enough solutions for what the Bucs do well on offense.
I think this, honestly, I mean, your Cowboys are traveling to Tampa. I don't trust Dak. I mean, that's another quarterback that leads the league in interceptions, but only played like half the season, so it's the most confusing stat ever. And we don't know Dak in his career
Can we agree both teams suck?
A high turnover. Yes, I think this could be an ugly game, to be honest with you. I think this could be like a 2016 game, 17-10 game. Honestly, I can see that scenario. As much as this is probably the hardest game I struggled with to pick because I don't trust either team, but in that situation, I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the home team here. I'm going to go with the Bucs, but it's slightly. The Cowboys haven't proven to me, especially how they ended the season against the Commanders. That was don't get me wrong, Bucs didn't close the season pretty either. But the Cowboys, to me, for as much talent as they have, they haven't been able to put it together. I think the Cowboys lose this game and Mike McCarthy gets fired. I'll say that because you can't lose against the Bucs. But I think they do. Give me Tom Brady and the Bucs at home.
2-point favorites on the road.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going with a lot of underdogs today, but
I don't blame you. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The Giants won a little suspect. I don't know how I feel about Seattle either, but Cowboys, I get it. I get you picking the Bucs.
I'm going with the 49ers.
Tom Brady
I didn't pick the Seahawks.
I know, but you said they'd cover, didn't you?
No, I said the 49ers will cover.
Then we're good, man.
I think they'll win by more than 10.
You're solid, bro.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. When we get back, we'll go to the AFC, and then we'll get to Fish, which I'm not looking forward to, but we're going to do it anyways. Chargers, Jags, Dolphins, Bills, Ravens, Bengals. We'll preview all the games, share our predictions, and then Jeff and I will share our AFC, NFC champions. who we think will make the conference championship games, who gets to the Super Bowl. That's coming up at 9:40. But before we go, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Well, wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the classic meatloaf or chicken Alfredo. But how about breakfast? You see it on the screen if you're watching on WoodwardSports.com. They have the stuffed potato pancakes as well as the lumberjack, the Santa Fe Garden, and the Blockbuster. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Jeff Iafrate here. Let me tell you about our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning, because it's where you'll find all the cleanest salons in the D with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They'll beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, and darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations and more on the way.
Chili Peppers Tan.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, live, woodwardsports.com. Adam Beydoun, Jeff Iafrate. Jeff, Chargers, Jags. On the AFC side, my favorite matchup this weekend. Again, Brandon Staley, Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. One of them is getting their first playoff win, meaning Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
So this is like a big career game for one of them. Now, you'd probably give more importance to Herbert. He's been around the league more. But still, this is a big deal, man. This, to me, is the game of the AFC. I'm so excited.
What's your gut telling you?
My gut tells me the Panthers are going to give the Chargers a lot of problems.
Or Jags. You mean the Jags.
I apologize.
Yeah.
The Jags are going to give the Chargers a ton of problems.
Yeah.
But I think Justin Herbert wills his team
okay. We're
to their first win under him in the playoffs. Brandon Staley, 10-7 this year. I think they go on the road. They beat Jacksonville. I still think Jacksonville are early. Yes, they won their division. A lot of context into that. But Trevor Lawrence, the highest growth in passer rating from year one to year two in NFL history. I think the Jags really give the Chargers a run for their money. But I'm going to take the Chargers here to win this game, Jeff.
Part of me does not trust Brandon Staley because he's found ways to lose games early in the year, but at the same time, I'm with you, Adam. I think the Jags will give the Chargers some problems, and it'll be close. I can see this being, down late in the fourth quarter, tied ball game, and really whoever gets the ball last wins the game. I could see a scenario like that, and I trust Justin Herbert in that situation. So I'm going to lean Chargers. I think they win close, but this is tough to call because you got Brandon Staley or Doug Peterson. You probably say you trust Doug Peterson, but to your point, are the Jags ready for this stage right now? I just don't know. Wouldn't be shocked if they win, but I'm going to go with the Chargers in a close one. I think the Chargers get it done on the road.
Okay, I like it. Dolphins starting a backup quarterback. Well, they're really the third string, if you want to include Tua and Teddy. This is going to be a bloodbath. Buffalo wins big. Give me Buffalo 31-13. This is a game I probably don't even watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. Skylar Thompson getting a start for the Miami Dolphins. Give me the Buffalo Bills. They had a close game with Tua a couple weeks ago. I think that was actually the game he was injured. Or no, that was the game before he was injured. He got injured against Green Bay. But I'm going to go with the Bills here. I think they win big. They take care of business. The Dolphins kind of snuck in after Tua's injury. Skylar Thompson, he's okay, but not for this stage. Give me the Buffalo Bills. They're playing for a lot. Josh Allen knows what's at stake. They want to get back to that AFC title game. Give me the Bills.
All right, upset alert. Ravens, Bengals? No.
Hell no.
Thank you. I'm glad we agree on this.
No.
Yeah, the ass whooping they got in the final game of the year. I know they rested players, but Baltimore, I don't see them putting up a fight.
No, I'm with you.
The Bengals win comfortably.
Yeah.
T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, that defense, Jesse Bates, Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard. Bengals. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
Bengals.
bottom line.
By a lot. I'm not going to give you a number. By a lot.
And they're getting some pieces back defensively from injury reserve. Give me the Bengals, man. They're one of the hottest teams in football. They're going to take care of business
100%.
here. No doubt.
100%. Well, look, while we have some time, okay, we just went through the AFC. We'll leave fish for the next 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
AFC title game, NFC title game. Tell me from now who's playing. Don't give me the winners. Give me who's going to make an appearance in the AFC title game and the NFC title game. I already hinted at this earlier. I gave you my NFC.
Yep.
It was my one before the season started. Minnesota and the Niners. I'm going to stick with it. Give me the Niners and Minnesota in the AFC, or excuse me, the NFC title game.
Or in the NFC?
God damn it! I keep
I love how open the playoffs are. I think that's one of the greatest things about football in the NFL.
I apologize. I take it back.
And it's one of the best things about the NFL is the kind of there's such a wide open field this year. I'm going to go in the NFC. I'm going to go with the Eagles and 49ers.
I got to revisit because Minnesota actually fell in the seeding. I forgot.
Oh, so they might play.
Yeah, so they play the Niners in the divisional round. So I got to revisit. Give me a second. Let me think this through.
Come on, come to it.
Yeah, I don't want to say Philly.
Come over here. Come join me.
How do they not get to the NFC title game?
Come join me. You know.
How do they not? They're going to play Tampa or Dallas. They're going to play Dak Prescott or an old Tom Brady.
Yep.
I mean, how do they not?
That's why I picked them, baby. Eagles and 49ers.
Yeah, it's got to be Eagles
NFC
and
title
Niners.
game.
I hate picking 1 and 2s. It never works out.
In that game, I got the 49ers advancing.
Okay.
49ers
Niners to the Super Bowl,
yes,
huh?
Niners to the Super Bowl. I just think that defense.
That I'll agree with you on. I think the Niners get there this year.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Oh, you about to? Are you calling an audible right now? The NFC title game?
No, NFC title game will be Niners Eagles. I would be so shocked if the Eagles lost on a bye week. I just can't envision it to Tampa or Dallas.
Yeah.
I would be disgusted. Jesus Christ. All right, AFC title game. Go for it, Jeff.
Oh, this one I struggled with because 3 teams I think will be in the conversation. Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. Now the question is, which of those 2 teams? I'm high on the Chiefs. I still think
I'm so glad we disagree. Thank God.
I think.
Thank God.
Say
I
what
want
you
to
want.
spend the next 5 minutes agreeing.
Say what
Please,
you
go for it.
Say what you want. Teams are going to have to travel to Kansas City. Now we'll see about the AFC title game and how that situation affects teams. But just with Kansas City, I think they'll be in the game. The second team,
go Bills or Bengals. Give me your pick because you're wrong already.
I got to see the playoff picture because who plays who?
Cincinnati, Baltimore, Buffalo, Miami, and then the winner of those 2 play each other.
Well, okay.
The Chiefs play the Chargers or the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals over the Bills.
It's a good pick.
Give me the Bengals over the Bills. I think the Bengals get it done, and we see a rematch of last year's AFC title game. And give me the Chiefs beating the Bengals.
Chiefs
49ers.
Chiefs, Chargers in the divisional round.
Yes.
Bengals, Buffalo in the divisional round.
I got Bengals winning that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Chargers versus the Bills in the AFC title game. Chiefs get knocked out first round. Chiefs get knocked out in the divisional round. I'm putting the Chargers and the Buffalo Bills in my AFC title picture, and I'm going Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm giving the Super Bowl to the Buffalo Bills. I really want to give it to the Niners so badly. I really want to die on my preseason prediction, but I can't. I think this is the year. Buffalo wins it. Buffalo have the story. They have the narrative.
They do.
They've lost before. They've lost the big games. The way they lost last year to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Like, it's their time to shine, in my opinion. Give me the Bills winning it all. I think they beat the Niners. Give me the Bills and the Chargers, though, coming out of the AFC.
That Chargers pick, man, I like it. I like you taking that risk there. So Bengals and Chiefs in the AFC title game. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They win that. They make it to the Super Bowl. They face the 49ers. And then give me the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I think Pat Mahomes gets his second Super Bowl win. And I just think the storyline, losing Tyreek Hill, trading him away, you kind of saw the team this year not really miss a step. And Patrick Mahomes having one of his better seasons. I believe it's the second season where he's thrown 40 touchdown passes. Chiefs still got a ton of talent. Say what you want. I'm putting my faith in Patrick Mahomes.
So Chiefs,
give me
Niners?
the Chiefs. Chiefs, Niners, Chiefs win. Yep.
Wow.
Give me the Chiefs.
So number 2 for Patrick.
Yeah, and by the way, I picked the Bills early in the year, so this is kind of my audible now that the playoffs have started.
Well, Bills Niners for me. Bills win the Super Bowl. That's my pre-playoff prediction, if you want to call it that. But we'll take a break. When we get back, Fish, you ready?
I'm ready, yes, sir.
You've got your 10?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. Let's take a break. We'll go to Fish. We'll have our awkward conversation. We'll see how this goes. I hope it goes well, and I hope all of you at home enjoy it. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Swiss Insurance.
Let me tell you about them. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for your commercial review. Many businesses choose a New Year's Day effective date, but Swiss Insurance can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance, give them a shot and you won't be disappointed. Contact them, mark@swissins.com for more information.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, yeah, Detroit fans were there.
Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
All right, let me tell you about my good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. The Monroe Street Midway Open all winter long. Shop, eat, and play downtown. Indoor arcades, winter bumper cars, puck putt, you name it, they've got it. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show live, woodwardsports.com as always. You know, we posted something on our Woodward Sports Instagram, and I think everybody needs to relax, all right? The network, when we post this stuff, it's for context. It's not to say one player is better than the other. But remember when I told you Jared Goff had a better statistical year than 8 of the 9 top paid quarterbacks in the NFL? If you go to Woodward Sports Instagram after the show, Jared Goff, 4,400 yards compared to Josh Allen's 4,300. 29 touchdowns to 35, only 7 interceptions compared to Josh's 14. 2 points higher on the completion percentage with 65 to 63. Goff leads 4 out of the 5 categories, and he has a higher passer rating. Think about that.
I know.
That's the level Goff played
now,
at this
the
year.
value is check the rushing yards.
Of course. No, I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. No one's saying
I get what you're
Goff
saying.
is better than
Yeah.
Allen, but I just think that's really good to see.
Oh, it's
Moving on,
absolutely
though.
incredible.
Fish,
Yes, sir.
this is about you.
Sure. Ready?
I'm ready.
What do you got, Fish?
Okay, good morning, everybody. We have a list of questions here. I've done about 7 days worth of research, just finding some common sense and common knowledge questions that are full of geography, basic information that people should know, like Adham, Beydoun. Jeff, you can answer. Alex, you can answer, and everyone at home, you can answer.
So we're taking
these.
turns? We'll go Adam first, me second? Or we just saying it out
Yeah,
loud?
whatever. However you guys
Okay.
want to do it. You and Adam decide amongst
I
yourselves.
guess I should go first because this is supposed to make me look stupid. So
Okay. All right.
I don't want you to spoil the answer and then I act like
That's
I knew
fair.
it.
That's fair. All right, go
Go
on,
on,
Fish.
Fish.
What you got?
Okay, it is about the state of Michigan and the surrounding
Oh God, I
parts
already
of
lost
Michigan.
this one.
The Great Lakes. You familiar with the Great Lakes?
Yes.
They lie along the Canadian-U.S. border. Go Canada. How many of them are there? Where's the music here?
Yeah, this...
I believe
I'll
Lake
let
Michigan,
Adam
Lake Erie, Lake Superior.
Well, you don't have to name them. Just tell me how many there are.
Are there 3 or 4? I think it's 4. Right? I really don't know. I know the 3. Is it 3 or 4?
I will tell you this. I will.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding.
There's 5 lakes. What the fuck are they? Lake Erie, Lake Superior, Lake Michigan. What else?
Ontario.
Lake Ontario. Son of a bitch, Adam. What's the 5th one?
Wait, what'd you name? You named it. What was it?
Superior.
Yes.
Michigan.
Yes.
Erie.
Yep.
Ontario.
And then
so there's four. The four Great Lakes,
Huron.
right?
No, there's
Huron.
five.
There's five.
Five?
Yep.
Yes, and the fifth one you
Where the
haven't
fuck
named
are
is
they?
it's the most obvious one.
Where the hell
Where
are
the
they?
fuck are they?
Well, if you look at Michigan, right?
Yeah, do the mitten
One,
surrounded by
around.
water.
It's around
Hey.
Michigan.
Wow.
Adam,
I'm very disappointed in myself.
Adam, didn't they teach you Holmes in school to remember them?
No.
Oh, I like that.
No,
one.
I didn't pay attention in school. Number one.
Homes.
I like that.
Brad Holmes.
Close.
Jeff would like that one. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Huron, Ontario.
And he still doesn't know.
And I still don't know. I'm very disappointed in myself.
It's okay.
Wow, I fucking botched the first
Well,
one.
you know.
I knew three.
You know sports.
Guys, nobody's asked me about the Great fucking Lakes in like 18 years.
Right.
Like, come on, give me a break. It's not like I'm sitting there staring at Google fucking Maps.
Like you probably know how many touchdown passes Tom threw in like 2008, but you don't know how many lakes we
Yeah,
have.
he threw 50.
Yeah.
I know, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That's a very good point,
off
Jeff.
the top of your head. But
Well, now you know where my priorities are in
Yeah.
life. All right, Fish,
There
number
you-
2. I can't believe I fucked that up.
Okay, this is multiple choice.
How? How do I fuck that up?
You still haven't come up with the fifth one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He said it, didn't
yeah,
he?
we covered them all. I think he said all 5.
Okay.
Well, you wanna? Okay,
You're
moving on. Yeah,
never
moving
mind.
on to
You
the next
You named
one.
them all. Okay.
God, 0 for 1. That one I missed.
All right, go on, Fish. What do we got?
How many people approximately are on this earth?